Greetings, this is Noel Patonsu, and I've developed a better way of burning wood in a wood stove. I misspelled bellows, but I did this on a laptop where I couldn't really read. So take that as a note of, if you do it, keep it. Let's move on. What I have here is a wood stove, close-up view, and you can see me cooking popcorn in the background at the top of the screen. The stove temperature is 310 degrees when measured on the outside of the stove with a clamped-on thermocouple. And it's heating the room nicely. The room is up to 75 degrees, and everybody's relaxing for the evening. The cats are sleeping, and they're sleeping in front of the wood stove. I have two combustion air fans that are pumping the proper amount of air into the wood stove. You can see that the coals are brightly lit, and in a moment here I will be putting a piece of wood on the coals. The wood is approximately 18% moisture content, and that's a little high, but that's what I have to put in. A little timer will show up in the upper right hand corner. So that's what I've got going here. From here on out, it's just a piece of wood burning. It's me talking and a little bit of music. Thanks for watching. Ah, yes. The piece of wood I put in is undergoing 3 phases of heat transfer. The 3 phases of heat transfer are radiant, convection, and conduction. In a warm wood stove, a piece of wood will heat from the outside in. So the center of the chunk of wood that's sitting in there is still rather cool, but the contact with the hot coals is conducting heat into the wood. The radiant energy from the whole stove radiating in to the surface is heating the surface up. And the convection is all these hot gases that are surrounding the piece of wood, makes the outside of the wood much warmer than the inside, the core of the wood. At 18% moisture, it's going to have to bake off the water on the surface before the pyrolysis gases will start increasing the fire. So you'll see that as time goes on. I have 2 combustion air fans that are very quiet. They are pumping roughly 2 to 10 CFM through this wood stove. And they are cycling in a specific way. They are ramping up and then ramping down to keep the wood stove in the sweet spot operating temperature. We have good charring going on the outside of the piece of fuel wood there. This is a normal process of burning where the pyrolysis gases leave and the wood on the exterior shrinks. We're also getting good full surface burning on 2 sides of the piece of wood. The front that you see there is very close to the glass, so it's not getting a lot of heat transfer. It's probably the coolest piece of wood or the coolest face of the wood. So things are going nicely. The wood stove is staying at right around 310 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll put on another song. While the wood appears to be diminishing, the fire is not quite so active. But have faith, the fuel wood is coming up to temperature. And I have faith that this wood will burn in this wood stove. It's just going to take some time, and we've got time to look at or listen to another song. The wood is still at a fairly diminished state of fire, and this is okay because the heat is soaking into the wood. I think it's best to just listen to some more, little put more energy in our music. I hope you haven't lost faith yet. I do see indications that this wood will take off. It's just a matter of playing some more music so that we can, let's see here. piece of fuel wood that we put in some 19 minutes ago is now just coming up to the temperature where it's driving off the moisture, the pyrolysis gases, and I think we'll see it start to increase in flame if we play the right music. Well, that seemed to work. We now have flaming in the top piece of our fuel wood, and it's getting into the secondary air channels. You can see there's air coming out of little holes on the top, and that is helping those pyrolysis gases in the reaction zone at the top of the wood. And now the heat release rate is taking off quite well. And it's partly because we played the right music, but it's also because we have two combustion air fans that are putting the correct amount of air in to keep the fire at a reasonable state, not too hot, not too cold. The wood stove is roughly at 310 degrees Fahrenheit, putting out good heat into the room, approximately 76 degrees in the room, spreading out to the rest of the house. Well, we have diminishing fire, but the wood stove is still quite warm, and the room is quite warm. So I think this is the last log I'm going to put on the fire today. And I'm just going to go watch some TV. I do have a little bit more music, and there's a little bit more burning log.